In 1640, in the small Spanish town of Calanda, an event occurred that would be recorded in civil and church documents alike and would remain one of the most widely discussed miracle claims in Catholic history. On the night of March 29th, a young man awoke with a leg that had been amputated more than 2 years earlier. That single fact, attested by sworn testimony and ecclesiastical investigation, has intrigued believers and historians for centuries. This is not a tale of legend or folklore, but of named people, civic officials, and a formal inquiry whose records survive from 17th century Aragon. The year was 1637. Spain was a deeply Catholic kingdom, and devotion to the Blessed Virgin Mary was woven into everyday life. Religious processions, pilgrimages, and reverence for local shrines were part of the cultural fabric. In that milieu, a young peasant named Miguel Juan Pellicer, born in Calanda in 1617, set out to work for an uncle in the fields near Castellón. One day he fell from a mule-drawn cart. The wheel passed over his right leg, fracturing the bone and ultimately leading to a serious infection. Efforts to treat the injury locally failed, and Pellicer resolved to seek help in the city of Zaragoza, more than 300 kilometers away. Upon arriving in Zaragoza in the autumn of 1637, Pellicer presented at the Hospital de Nuestra Señora de Gracia. The surgeons attending him found extensive gangrene in the limb, and they determined that amputation was the only means of saving his life. 2 surgeons, Juan de Estanga and Diego Millaruelo, carried out the operation in mid-October, cutting the leg below the knee and cauterizing the stump, as was customary at the time. The amputated limb was buried in the hospital cemetery according to local practice, and Pellicer was fitted with a wooden leg and discharged in the spring of 1638. For the next 2.5 years, he supported himself as a beggar near the sanctuary of Our Lady of the Pillar in Zaragoza, where he attended Mass daily and often anointed his stump with oil from the lamps in the chapel. Then, on March 29, 1640, while in his family home in Calanda, something extraordinary was reported to have occurred. According to the accounts preserved in 17th century documents, Pellicer's mother entered the room where he was sleeping and observed 2 feet protruding from beneath the bedclothes instead of the one she had become accustomed to seeing. She called her husband, and both drew back the coverings to find that Pellicer now had both legs. The restored limb appeared to be attached to his body in the same place from which it had been amputated years before. This was not merely a private family conversation. Within hours, a local judge and a royal notary were on the scene, and by the next morning, a formal sworn affidavit was drawn up. The notary's deed recorded the testimony of 10 witnesses to the event, and locals accompanied Pellicer in procession to the parish church, where clergy and townspeople gathered to see him walking on 2 legs after years of only 1. The matter did not rest there. At the request of the municipal authorities, a formal investigation was opened by ecclesiastical officials. On June 5, 1640, a canonical process began under the direction of the Archbishop of Zaragoza. 24 witnesses were selected for their perceived reliability, and numerous depositions were taken under oath over the course of about a year. These included Pellicer himself, neighbors from Calanda and Zaragoza who had known him during the period when he had only 1 leg, and civil authorities familiar with his daily presence near the shrine. On April 27, 1641, the Archbishop of Zaragoza issued a formal judgment on the matter. In that document, he declared that Miguel Juan Pellicer's leg, previously amputated, had been miraculously restored, and that the restoration could not be explained by natural causes, but was rightly ascribed to a miraculous event according to the norms of the law. A key point in the testimony was that the restored leg appeared to be the same one that had been amputated years before. Witnesses identified scars and marks on it that predated the injury, and when the hospital cemetery was later excavated, the burial spot for the amputated limb was found empty. It is important to be clear about what official recognition means in this historical context. The Zaragoza judgment constitutes a local ecclesiastical declaration that the event met the criteria of a miracle according to the understanding and norms of the Church at that time. It is not the same as a universal declaration by the Holy See, nor is it formally included in the modern canon law process used today for beatification or canonization causes. What is documented is that the local ordinary, the archbishop, after hearing testimony under oath and considering the evidence, pronounced the event a miracle within his jurisdiction. However, this local recognition has not been elevated to a decree of the Holy See, affirming universal assent as part of a feast or official liturgical celebration. Thus, while it is a historically documented and locally recognized miracle, it does not occupy the same canonical status as miracles approved in the context of a canonization process in more recent centuries. From a Catholic theological perspective, the Church distinguishes between different categories of supernatural phenomena. A miracle, in the classical sense, is an event that manifests divine power in a way that transcends known natural laws, and which the Church judges to be worthy of belief when investigated with medical and theological rigor. The Calanda event, in the judgment of the 17th century investigator, was such an occurrence. But the Church also teaches that acceptance of any particular miraculous claim is not part of the deposit of faith that every Catholic is bound to believe. Catholics are permitted to believe in authorized Marian apparitions or miracles that have been properly examined and upheld by competent ecclesiastical authority. But devotion to or belief in a specific miracle outside of publicly promulgated doctrine is not required for salvation. Regardless of one's personal stance on the event, its place in Catholic historical literature and the surviving contemporary testimonies make it a subject of ongoing interest for scholars of church history. In the calm light of history and church teaching, the story of Miguel Juan Pellicer's restored leg remains a testament to the diligence of early modern inquiry and the enduring human search for signs of the transcendent. As we reflect on this remarkable case, we are gently invited to consider the mystery of God's interaction with creation and to hold a thoughtful, measured reverence for the extraordinary ways the divine has been understood to touch the lives of ordinary people. Thank you for watching. If you enjoyed this story, please subscribe for more Catholic nighttime mysteries. May God bless you.